What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Man, I really had really great sound effects back in the day. But I'm like scared to use anything now because like I can get banned for it. So what's going on? Welcome to the breakdown. The breakdown, episode 716. We always start off the show by saying hello and welcome. Shout out to the sponsors, Midnight. Either today or tomorrow. I guess I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I activate my AI agent, my avatar, to go into Midnight City. That's right. Also, shout out to Polymarket. I kind of now do, besides doing my research, I do my, I always talk to you guys about doing research and shit. But now I kind of like get the pulse when I go to Polymarket. I really do. I just like, I get the pulse of the street when I go to Polymarket. I would suggest you guys go there and just like look at what's happening, what the people are saying. It's instantaneous, man. Like Cake Wallet. Shout out to Cake Wallet. No, I have before I talk about Cake Wallet. Like, why do they have to come mow my lawn exactly when I come on to the show? It is like you know I'm going to do the show, and you come like I'm hearing this, and it's distracting. It's very distracting. Shout out to Cake Wallet. If you're not using Cake Wallet to hold your Bitcoin, your Monero, Litecoin, you're an idiot. That's it, plain and simple. It is such a fucking good wallet. It is underrated. Underrated. I've said that regardless if they were I've talked about Cake Wallet regardless if they were a sponsor on my show or not. And we had Seth on here. We've had Vic on here. You've heard them speak. These are very intelligent people, and they know what the fuck they're doing. It's crazy. A lot of you guys complain about getting, getting fished for your goddamn Bitcoin. And some of the wallets that you tell me that you're using, horrific. I won't name names. I don't want to bash. Would never have happened if you were using things like Cake Wallet. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I'm telling you the truth. Go do your own research. Go do your own research on Cake Wallet. And also Quad Network. I like things being built. I like things being built for Bitcoin. I really do. Anyway, what's happening? Like, what is happening in crypto? What is really happening in crypto? I've been sitting back and just observing. Here's my tweet today. Let's go to the tweet. Let's read the tweet. I'm not fancy like everybody else where I'm gonna pull up the screen. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody pulls up the screen now. By the way, why is everybody copying everybody's format? Like, can't we be original? Am I being disrespectful by saying that? But why can't we all just be original? Everybody has the same format now. Like, come on. Be you. Be you. Think of get an editor, get a producer, and figure out a way to construct your own show. So the identity can always be linked to you. I don't know who's who anymore, man. I really don't know. Like, if it wasn't for your name, I wouldn't know what's what. You know it's my show when I pop up American flag, American colors, look at the overlay, look at the production. You know it's me. You will never mistake this for another show. Help us out here. I want to support. I just don't know who I'm supporting. You all look the same. Mario in the fall, man. How do you get? And I'm gonna get into this topic of me tweet. Let me do this first, and then I'm gonna get into Mario in the fall. I gotta talk on this. I definitely gotta touch on this. And this is not me dancing on anybody's grave. I'm going to explain. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on what happened with Mario. So I wrote today, stop using market cap. This is for crypto. Everybody in crypto, everybody who tunes in, you know what it is? I saw Choose Nick. I saw a clip of Choose Nick. And let me read this out first, and then I'm going to get into Choose Nick, and then I'm going to get into Mario in the fall. And I think these are going to be really good takes. Listen to somebody with experience. Listen to the veteran here real quick. I said today, stop using market cap as your entire thesis. That number doesn't tell you if a project is actually building anything, if people care, if the team is active, or if there's a real community behind it. Ask better questions. What are they building? Why does it matter? Who is it for? Is anyone actually using it? Does the community show up when the chart isn't green? Can people explain it without sounding clueless? This stuff isn't hard to figure out anymore. We have more tools, more data, and more access than ever. If you still can't spot real opportunity in this market, stop blaming the market. You're just not paying attention. I wrote that today because that's how I really feel. You guys are your own worst enemies. It's not that, as much as I despise influencers and whatever KOL means in crypto, whatever KOL means in crypto, no matter how much I despise, it's you. It's ultimately you. You're the problem. You're making the decisions. You're making the decisions. You're making the decision to buy. You're making the decision to sell. It's on you. It's not on nobody else. It's not on nobody else. If you can't take the, this space is funny. You take your money, you have money, and you're just blindly throwing it into something. And when the shit doesn't go your way, you're blaming everybody. Again, I can't stand influencers or KOLs. But you can't blame them for everything. At what point do you blame yourself for these decisions? You keep blaming everybody for being broke. You're the problem. Have you looked into the mirror? You're the problem. Have you done any research? Have you done a lick of research? If you're going into XYZ, have you even done any sort of research? Is there an active team? Is there a community? Like, what are they building? What are they doing? What's the utility behind? If it's a utility project, what's the utility behind it? Who are they working with? Who have they partnered with? Have you looked into these things? No, you haven't. You just jumped in. A lot of you guys are chasing Zcash right now. And this is not no disrespect or shots at Zcash. Do you know what Zcash even is? A lot of you guys don't. You're just jumping in because your favorite influencer mentioned it. You don't give a fuck about privacy. Come on. And then you say, and then like, I'm not saying Zcash, I'm saying in general, like when things don't go right, you're looking for somebody to blame. You're literally in search of somebody to go ahead and fucking blame. Blame yourself. I blame your mother, okay? But blame yourself. And I had to stop myself from telling you why I blame your mother, but blame yourself. Because you're not serious. Let's be serious. You're not serious. You're not serious about this space. If you think you're owed something because you're like, this space is relatively still young, regardless of the decade plus that has been here. If you think that you'll just walk in here and like you're handed a check for $1 million because you signed up to X, you're retarded. That's the problem. You have a bunch of and this is the craziest part, is that you guys are entitled. You guys walk in here like you're entitled to $1 million right off jump. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. Oh, I signed up for an X account. I get $1 million by this week. The Brinks truck is going to deliver me $1 million. That's the problem. You're not serious. We're dealing with unserious people, man. This is not serious. And especially that all the tools are here for you. That's the fucked up part. The tools are here. Like, you have everything. Go back cycles. You didn't have this. Like, motherfuckers didn't have this in front of them. You had to do actual research. Like, you had to scrape for data. Like, you guys can turn on a computer right now and go to ChatGPT. Like, it's just like, that's how simple you have it. And you're still not winning. That's the crazy part. And because you're not winning, you're blaming everybody and their mother. Oh, this person made me go into this asset. How? Explain it to me. How did that influencer make you get into said asset? He didn't. It's the same. Now I'm gonna go right into choose Rich. Nick, you guys are the fucking problem. If you really gave a fuck about this guy and you really wanted to donate to his cause, he's going through a battle with cancer right now. If you actually wanted to do something and help him, then you could have easily opened up a GoFundMe, right? Like, you could have sent them a donation, anything. No, you are leeches. You don't give a fuck about him having cancer. You're trying to figure out how you can profit off of his situation. What is he saying that TikTok got me again? Are you serious? You gotta be kidding me. TikTok got me again? For what? What the Oh my God. It must have been the R word. Oh my goodness. You know, I can care less about TikTok at this point. That's real talk. I'm not. Hold on. No, I'm not frozen. I was just reading something. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, that's my fault because I forgot. You can't fucking breathe on TikTok. You can't breathe on TikTok. Ugh. That sucks. That sucks. Anyway, whatever. Choose. What were we talking about? So Nick has cancer, right? And there's a token created, and apparently the rewards are sent to him. But you guys don't really care about what he's going through. You guys just want to make money. That's how nasty this space is. So instead of sending him money, like I said, like, if you really do care about the cause, if you care, like, if you want to donate, you want to be a good individual, could have done that. But no, you want to trade on his problem. And then when the market, because you know what's going to happen. The market cap is going to go down. Like the market cap is going to go down. So as soon as the market cap goes down, you guys are salty and you start blaming him. Blame yourselves, and I agree with him. You motherfuckers need to go get a job. Like, I totally fucking agree with this. Like, did you really think the rich token was going to go to like fucking $1 billion? No, it wasn't, because you have people that can't even hold their dicks when they pee. This is who you're trading against. These broccoli head motherfuckers, like I'm telling you, they don't care. They don't care what Nick is going through. They don't give a fuck. That's why I fucking laugh, like when you guys, and right away it's like, let's hit the timeline. Let's make a 9-page fucking 90-page thread on why this person is bad. But listen, I gotta tell you, no rich or wealthy individual is writing a thread, is complaining. We understand the game. We understand the markets. You don't see this in traditional markets. And then you're wondering why it's choppy here. You know why it's choppy? Because not a single person wants to deal with you rats. Why would anyone want to deal with you? Why would anybody want to create? First of all, and let me say this real quick. It's just X. It's not any other social media platform. It's just here where people can jump up, hide behind the PFP, and like write a 99-page fucking thesis on why so-and-so is bad and look at what they fucking went ahead and did. You guys should be more worried about getting toothpaste and brushing your teeth because your teeth look ugly and you smell like shit. That's what you should be worried about. Not about any... I don't know, man. Like, I watched some of this shit and I'm like, yo, this is honestly fatherless behavior, man. This is fatherless behavior. It's fucking crazy. Like I was actually working out. I do 2-a-days every day. Like I was working out today. I was doing pull-ups and chin-ups. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this is a dirty ass place. I literally said that out loud as I'm doing pull-ups. I'm like, damn, this is a dirty ass place. Which leads me into Mario. By the way, before I go into Mario, the rich token, you know what you're getting into. Bottom line, it goes back to what I said. You know what you're getting into. It is a charity token. Like y'all create, you know what's crazy? You mutts created it. You put it out there. Okay? You mutts created it. You put it out there. And then you blame him because it went down. And then hold on. You give him the creator awards and like you give him whatever. And he's cashing out. And then you're mad at him for and then you're waiting for him to go ahead and say something to pump it. You are cockroaches. Y'all are cockroaches. I'm suspended on TikTok until the 30th. Okay, so I'll be back unless I appeal. I'll appeal. I will appeal. Like I think it's one of those appeals to say like I apologize, but I don't know. And to Mario. I gotta say, and this is not to dance on Mario in the fall, because I've seen it happen in 4K. You have the richest man in the world following you. You have the richest man in the world who has gone onto your space and had conversations. I'm gonna probably say the most, because this is not like me. I will say things, and if it hurts somebody's feelings, so be it. If you unfollow me, so be it. If you block me, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to say how I feel. I'm going to say it with my chest out. And I'm going to stand on business. But you didn't even, it wasn't even you. How are you going ahead? How are you going to let other people run your account? That is crazy. You have a connection with the richest man on the planet. He has done everything to prop you up. He's retweeted you like crazy. He's pushed your attempts at having some sort of a network. And you have somebody behind your account that comes out with some bullshit. Once you piss, and here's the thing, there's no second chances with Elon. There's absolutely no second chances with this man. Like you do one thing wrong to Elon, you are so fucked. Like he's not going to accept an apology from you. Like it is over. It is done. You had it. You had it. You had like that kind of network, and I'm just saying, man, and it's wild. It's just wild, man. It's wild to watch. It's wild to watch. But I'm going to get into crypto and some of the things that I believe are necessary in order for us to get back. Yeah, Pumpsky, they're fucking mutts. Yeah, absolutely. Brokies, mutts. That's all they want. Cockroaches. Like, motherfuckers sit in chats all day. I don't know why you even came. I don't understand why a lot of people even came into crypto. Y'all sit back, talk about drama all day. Like, you don't need to be in crypto, bro. Like, you can go turn on like Dr. Phil or some shit. Like, y'all don't need to be here. Like, if you're not here and you're not about your money, you should not be here. Like, I'm going to encourage you to leave. Y'all need to find a job for real. I keep saying this. I've been saying this. Y'all need to get a job. Go to IHOP. There's a lot of drama at IHOP. You can hear every single taper. There are people sitting at these tables. They're probably talking mad shit about their coworkers, their friends, family. There's so much drama. You'll have plenty of it. But to come into crypto and just sit around here looking for the next thread to come out so you can go ahead and say, oh yeah, look at that loot. You're stupid. You are dumb. I guarantee you, your parents and your family are ashamed of you. Fuck, I want to say so much more. Like, anyway, Landy's here with us for 15 minutes. Let's go ahead and bring him in. I'm just blown away by the circus that we have here. Good morning to you on the West Coast there, Landy. How's it going?
It's going well, David. How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing great. Just breaking down the crypto industry, and off of TikTok right now, suspended for another 3 days.
Well, I did join in right as you noticed that you had been suspended, so you can blame me for that one, I guess.
No, I said retarded. That's why I got.
Oh, okay. Yes, you said the forbidden keywords.
I'm not talking about like anybody with a disability. I'm just saying retarded means like this is such a soft ass society, man. This is really a soft, like we used to say the R word all the time. Like it really does not. See, this is the difference. If you grew up in New York City, the R word was not about disrespecting anybody with disabilities.
Well,
It means something totally different, bro. It means something absolute. What am I gonna write that in the appeal? I grew up in New York City, and it means something completely fucking different.
well, look, it's
These
TikTok.
guys grew up in the Midwest, and they're goddamn Democrats. How am I gonna? They'll be like, yeah, okay.
Look,
They're gonna
they
put me.
have
I'm telling you, the ADL's gonna put me on the all right list. I already know it's coming, bro.
probably already there. But which you got to understand. Look, it's TikTok. So if you had threatened to end someone, no problem. But if you say anything like the R word or any unapproved words, you're out. All right. So it's obviously a system that works one way and one way only, and
Crazy.
that's been very clear for a very long time. Um, but yeah, markets, man. A lot of people getting a little fearful around some of these areas for Bitcoin and crypto at large. Um, and some of that fear is valid. But we're still right in the zone for like Bitcoin 74 to 76. I will say that if we do break below 74, expect, a drawdown to, 72, 72 and a half, and then potentially even down to the 70K area and under. But if things hold up here, it's all about getting back above around, 78 to 78.4, and we would see pretty quickly that price could trade back up to 80,000 or low $80,000 region. Not very complex right now. It's pretty clear. It's midweek. We've got economic data that is going to be coming out tomorrow with preliminary GDP reads, unemployment claims. And one of the things that we do see right now is we are getting relief, and it's not a one-to-one correlation with markets at large, but I've mentioned that oil you want to pay attention to, and we are getting some relief and some moves to the downside for oil. We hit WTI on the near contract. We hit about 87. We'll call it $88 a barrel, which is one of the areas that I talked about on Monday, and I'm going to follow up later today on the update. But one of the things to pay attention to is if oil continues to head down, and we do see markets slide, then we're in correction. We're in correction territory and local territory for those corrections. And it wouldn't be unless we see oil prices aggressively rise that we would see a continued risk off rotation, which we're getting a little bit in traditional markets today as well. We're seeing a little bit of rotation from, you could call it tech to value or dividend paying stocks, which is normal rotations. And when we have decreasing energy costs, that allows for, a more positive outlook on some of the supports as prices head down. But beware, because if we get to supports and oil does spike and everything rotates even further risk off, then we likely break through those supports to the downside. So we are getting to some levels where that's going to be interesting to watch. 74 to the downside for Bitcoin. Swings below are fine. I'd say you don't want to see daily closes below, because then we've either already, started to see lower prices, or we will then see lower prices thereafter. And for traditional markets, I'm looking at Dow is up today because we're seeing a little bit of risk rotation within markets. We see just a little bit of a pullback on NASDAQ and SPY around the new all-time highs that were just made. And realistically, you want to see oil stay down and continue down while markets are heading down, have them find support and head back up while oil continues to head down. Because if they head down and then oil spikes, we're likely seeing a much larger correction likely to ensue from there. But we need kind of a break for liquidity. We got a little bit last week coming into this week. For traditional markets, Bitcoin had a nice run from 65 to 82 and a half. So a little bit of a cool off period and a drawdown to mean revert. Nothing too crazy or scary right now for the bulls, but just pay very close attention to the supports. Know them, mark them, because you want to have a plan for if things do continue to head down, and we do see oil prices, energy prices spike again. And I would pay attention to um, coming in towards the close of the month. One of the things that you asked me is I thought my initial thoughts were that we would see a drawdown in May, but I wasn't looking at it as a sell in May and go away. We didn't get quite a drawdown that I was looking for, but we have gotten little corrections. So since you and I had talked about that, we saw just a very slight correction in traditional markets. And then, of course, we've seen a wider correction in Bitcoin and crypto, but we haven't seen like a big correction just yet. And this is something that I did talk to you a little bit about, because even going back to last year, after Trump came back into office, we didn't get a sell in May and go away. We got more of a sell in summer and then kind of sell in the beginning of the fall, right? And then a nice rip back to the upside. So I don't really buy into those narratives. I kind of prefaced a lot of what I was talking about there. And even though we didn't actually get that drawdown or the wider correction that I'd like to see or that I am looking for, what we can posit from here is that if we start to see a top form on the daily for traditional markets and we see Bitcoin sitting right at support and we do get a spike for whatever reason, doesn't really matter, we see a spike in oil, that likely causes or starts to set off that wider correction. We're not there yet though. And bulls still have a shot here for Bitcoin. They still have a shot to continue melting up in traditional markets, which, the melt up, you don't get in the way of you don't get in the way of a freight train while the freight train's still going 100 miles an hour at you, right? You wait until you start seeing cracks in trend, and then you start seeing a compression to expansion in a high volatility environment, especially for traditional markets, to really start going, okay, this is it. This is the wider correction that we've been looking for, and we're just not there yet. Maybe that
Well,
starts to form in the next couple of days, though. We'll see.
see, this is all nice for traders.
Yeah.
Okay, this is nice information for traders. My whole standpoint, it's what I tweeted about today.
Hmm.
Are you guys actually looking at the things that you're in? Like,
Oh,
or
I
are you
do.
just going in blind? And like that's really it. Like at the end of the day, like, okay, Bitcoin goes down to 68,000. Great. Does that mean Bitcoin isn't the asset that it was at 128, or what, excuse me, 126, 127? No.
Well, of course not.
So
Right.
like
But
but that's my thing. Like that's what we have in this space. It's all based on market cap instead of
yeah.
being based on the actual asset. And that's it. That's why a lot of people lose.
Oh, of
That's
course.
and that's why they will continue to lose until they say to themselves, "You know what? I actually got to put the work in. I actually have I great Landy's here, Dave's here, a bunch of people out here talking about Big until I really get serious about learning it myself, I'm gonna be an unserious person in this space. That's how I see it. That's it. And you're gonna continue to lose. You're just going to continue to lose. That's it. And by the way, let me say this, and this is going to be an unpopular take, and I know it will be. But Bitcoin has lost something. I know you're gonna hate me for this, Landy, but it's lost something. It's lost something. I can't put my hand on it. I can't put my finger on it. Okay, but it's lost something. I'm not saying it's not going to $1 million. All I'm saying it's lost something.
Well, here's the
It
thing.
doesn't have the cypherpunk feel. I'll tell you that right now.
Narratives change when price improves.
No.
They do.
It could be at $200,000 right now. I'm still telling you, it's lost something.
Now you'll see a completely different narrative, and that's
I'm
something will
telling
be
you, I'm
back. It'll
speaking
just
for
be something
myself.
different.
I'm not speaking for the people. I'm speaking for myself. It's
Sure,
lost something.
I would vehemently disagree. When you
Okay,
have
you think it's still cypherpunk?
there's a lot of things that are happening on Bitcoin's chain and surrounding Bitcoin as an asset that
You're not
still
hearing
adheres
me.
to
You're
the
going into
cypherpunk
technicals. I'm
ethos.
talking
No,
about
no, 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 no. Listen
you
to
go
me
right
and hear
into
what I'm saying.
technicals.
No, well, look, you gotta listen first.
I
that is
listen,
still in
but you're not
service
listening to
of
me.
the cypherpunk ethos. And I wanted to bring up that when you have Michael Saylor, who obviously has become very famous for buying lots of Bitcoin and creating different products out of it, that is paying very close attention to what is happening on the network itself at a network level, and what the ethos of Bitcoiners is. When you have Charles on and he talks about what Bitcoiners want to see and what they don't want to see when it comes to utilizing their Bitcoin or unlocking the liquidity, there's an entire very quiet, because it's not talked about very often in the wider outside of the wider space of Bitcoin, and in particular those who are involved in the network itself. No one's talking about how layer one lending is starting to really develop and hit strides that is in service of the cypherpunk movement. And because Bitcoiners often are hesitant to do anything with their Bitcoin. So what do you need to do? You need to build something that can weave in with layer one, that can actually facilitate unlocking that liquidity in various other vectors. That stuff is happening. It's alive and well, and it's accelerating. The fact of the matter is, people don't talk about it because what they don't want to acknowledge is that it's some of the biggest industry players that are driving that forward now.
Landy, this even when we went to $127,000, it wasn't exciting.
You could say the same for just about every
No, like
major
I'm telling you, it's more exciting.
cryptocurrency
It-
in the
I'm
space.
telling you, people are just more excited about other things than they are Bitcoin.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't own Bitcoin. You're getting offended,
No.
but it's
No,
it's
I'm not
just the
getting
truth.
offended.
That's
No.
sentiment.
I think that that's nonsense, to be quite
You're
honest.
in okay, I'll tell you why it's nonsense to you. You're in Bitcoin spaces. So you don't hear what everybody else is saying.
Yes, I do.
You don't. You don't
Yes, I
because
do.
then
I've been a
we wouldn't
proponent of
even be debating
Hyperliquid
this.
and
We wouldn't be
talking about
debating this.
Hyperliquid since the airdrop.
We wouldn't be debating. This has nothing to do with Hyperliquid.
Yes,
But
it
I will
does,
tell you
because
that
that's the hot
more
narrative
people are
right now.
excited about Hyperliquid than they are Bitcoin.
Yeah, and I'm also involved in that myself.
I I'm just telling you the
But
people sentiment.
why are they excited, David?
People are excited to make money on hype.
But why?
Landy, if you want to get into semantics, it's fine.
No,
You
it's
win.
not
I'm
semantics.
telling you,
Why are they excited,
I'm
David? What are they excited
gonna
about?
pause it right now. People are not as excited as they were about Bitcoin, like they were in
Price changes
16,
narrative.
like they were in 21. Like, you want to collect Bitcoin, you
They're
should.
all doomers the
I
entire
put out the
time.
tweets, I put out videos. You should buy Bitcoin all the time. But I'm telling you right now, that
Brother.
excitement, there's a piece of it
No.
that's missing. What for me, 100%.
Let's roll it back to all of the
I
people
don't have to
that
roll
were
it back.
calling
I'm
for
telling you how I feel.
8-12K,
You don't gotta tell me to roll it back.
Bitcoin last at the bottom of last cycle. Let's roll it back to the prior cycle that Bitcoin was dead
Everybody
after
was still there was still
COVID.
like, hey, you gotta get this. It wasn't about it being in the red.
You're talking
Like,
about the timeline, brother.
I'm talking, forget about just here. X is not the
Brother,
only
there's
social
been-
media platform I stand on.
Go look at that price chart for all of the majors and tell
I'm
me,
not
where was
talking
the
about
excitement?
price. You
Where was
keep
the
going to
excitement?
price. I'm not talking about price.
No, because price drives narratives. You literally made this argument with me last week. Price drives
I am not
narratives.
talking about price.
It's all about the
I'm not
price.
talking about
Everybody only
price.
wants to make money, right? So let's talk about this. Why is Hyperliquid exciting right now? Because they are doing what? They're partnering with institutions to tokenize stocks.
Every word that you're saying is institution.
Yeah, and your point being, it's everywhere you
Retail
go is
fucking hates
institutions.
institutions.
No, they don't. They want to ride the
Yes,
coattails. They
retail should not
literally
be in love with
cheer.
institutions. We
Oh
should
my God,
never.
no.
Satoshi's rolling in his fucking grave right now.
No, he's not. First
Yes,
off,
he is. That was never it was never in the books to go ahead and have be in bed.
show me the
Thank
Bitcoin
God I held
Popcorn
back my
post
mouth.
where he said that
Stop.
we're gonna outrun the traditional systems and take them over.
What
No.
did he write on the chain?
Look,
What did he write on the chain?
that's not the point. You're
It
missing
is the point. You can't say, "Look at this," but don't look over here. Come on, what are we doing?
Because that's you're making a straw man argument, bro.
No, I'm
And you
not.
know it.
I'm telling you
Yes, you are.
that Bitcoin is and was for Main Street, not for Wall Street.
That's bullshit. You can't have one without the other.
All right. All right. This is what this is the problem that we have. We are so, oh my God, Jamie Dimon, give it to me on my forehead type
You
of shit, bro.
can't
It's just,
have one
it's wild.
without
It's
the
wild
other.
to watch.
The system is interconnected.
Okay.
You have to trade one for the other.
All right.
Did Satoshi say that no institutions allowed? No.
It's a decentralized space.
And has that changed?
Nobody's fighting that.
Has that changed? No.
Of course it's changing.
How? It's not decentralized
Hold on,
anymore?
you think it doesn't become more centralized now?
It's not. You're talking about token
Okay.
holdings. Who holds
Okay.
more, David?
Okay.
Who holds
If
more?
you think that this
OGs?
space isn't a little bit more centralized now,
Who-
you're just
No.
it's more you're like a sports fan, like you're a die-hard Cowboys fan or a die-hard Giants fan. That's all you are. You can't see, you got the blinders on.
Sure. Holding the token does not
Are
make
these
it
products
centralization.
centralized or decentralized?
As what?
Are the products that are being thrown out there by institutions centralized or decentralized?
Any product is going to be centralized by a team.
Okay,
whether
so
it's
like
on
you're
chain or
saying,
off.
like
But that's a product. That's not Bitcoin.
exactly, these are the products that are being fed. If you want to
That's
talk
a
about
product,
Bitcoin, then why aren't we getting
not
people into physical
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin?
It's a product utilizing Bitcoin as the underlying asset.
But
That's
why
not
don't
Bitcoin.
we get people into
You
physical
could say the same
Bitcoin?
thing about ETH. You could say the same thing about Hype and
I'll say
Fur
the same thing
and
about them too. I think ETH is dog shit right now. You're not going to get me to say I'm not. This is not me just picking apart Bitcoin. I'm just telling you that Bitcoin has lost something. I'm not saying it's not going back to $1 million.
so
I'm
then
not
it-
saying it's
so
not
is
going to.
ETH, so is Solana.
I'm
so
not
is
saying
every
that it's
other
not on
chain.
the path to 1 million or 1.2
I'm
million.
not. I don't
2
care.
million,
Don't-
3
don't
million,
put price
4.
into it.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not even
Bitcoin
talking
hasn't
about
changed.
price.
Just because the owners of those Bitcoin change, Bitcoin itself hasn't changed. Has it evolved over time on the network side? Sure.
There are people. I love the fact that Michael Saylor has 4 to 5% of Bitcoin.
Okay, you can't have
There
your
are people
cake.
that don't like that.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't make one
But
argument.
but I'm just
that it's
telling you, there are
different, but all
people
these
that are saying that
institutions
they
are
will
here,
not go into Bitcoin because
centralized or
Saylor holds
not.
4 to 5% of Bitcoin.
Look, it doesn't matter. Yeah, and OGs, he told you himself, OGs hold more than 55% of the
I
Bitcoin
understand that.
still.
You're not hearing my argument.
So is
I
it
have nothing
centralized?
against. I have nothing against him holding 4 to 5% of
Can you
Bitcoin.
answer my question? Is it
I've already
centralized
answered
if
everything. You're just not
OGs No,
listening
you
to me.
didn't. You changed the subject. If OGs hold more than 55% of the supply, does that mean it's centralized? It's supply. It's not the network. It's
That's
supply.
not. Come on, that's semantics, bro.
No, it's not. You
It
literally
is.
made the argument that look at all of these larger players that are getting in the game, it's becoming more centralized. You're talking about supply.
Products. I named it with the products. I didn't say
Okay.
they're not getting physical. They're not going into physical Bitcoin.
The holders of strategy and stretch aren't. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That's not the point.
You have institutions that are creating products. Like I was big in 17. I said like this shit would if when this shit happens, it's going to be absolutely gonorrhea for fucking Bitcoin.
Okay. Bitcoin
I
itself is
understand there's
priced
a population that will never open up a wallet, that will never go on Coinbase, they will never ever, they don't even know what a seed phrase is. Okay. I understand that. I get that part, and I get they want to deal with the BlackRock, Fidelity, Brown, whatever. We can name them all out. They want to deal with their own people. I get that part, and they want to get into Bitcoin. I get that.
You just told me that everyone just wants to make money, right? They all just want to make money. They don't care. So then what has
You
changed?
weren't even on here when I was talking about that subject. I was talking about a totally different subject on that one.
No, just a moment ago you said it. When I brought up Hyperliquid, when I brought up the other chains, everybody is here because they just want to make
People
money.
are here to make 100%. People are here to make money.
So then what feels
Bitcoin's
different?
different, but Bitcoin is different.
No, it's not.
Okay, fine, it's not.
How is it different?
Okay.
How many OGs do you know that sell cycle to cycle?
Why are OG? Let me ask you a question. Why are OG wallets selling?
They always sell every cycle.
No, but why have they been selling more this cycle, whatever cycle you want to call it?
They're not selling more this cycle than last cycle.
All right.
They're not. You can go look at the metrics yourself. But why are OG wallets moving? OG wallets have moved OTC for a very long time.
Okay.
Now they move OTC to institutions because many of these guys sat on those coins for a very long time. I've actually had this discussion with you before where I told you.
I appreciate them for holding Bitcoin until it was finally liquid to go ahead and sell. I said that on my other podcast.
And because these same people I've actually argued with, because these same people who will OTC their Bitcoin to institutions or do lending contracts through OTC desks and stuff like that to leverage their Bitcoin, they often tell me that I'm not a real Bitcoiner because I trade it, yet here they are selling it and leveraging it on the other side. So if they sell their Bitcoin and they've been here for a really long time, are they no longer a Bitcoiner or are they still a Bitcoiner? I want to know the answer to that.
You can sell your Bitcoin. You could do whatever you want.
Are they still a Bitcoiner after they sell though?
Most people will sell because they want to get more liquid, and that's fine.
Yeah, but are they a Bitcoiner anymore? Because now they're
why wouldn't they be a Bitcoiner?
Right? Well, because if they sell all their Bitcoin, they'd be all in fiat or something else, right?
Listen, people will choose this.
That's an exit.
This is semantics. Like this is just straight up like this.
No,
I'm telling you're going right back to pricing. I'm telling you.
I'm not talking to. Where did I say price?
I told you that the sentiment is not what it was cycles ago. That's all I'm telling you.
Why should
you're trying to you're taking numbers and you're fucking moving
I didn't
them
do
like,
anything with
great.
numbers.
Like I'm just telling you again. No matter
numbers.
which way you want to move these numbers right now, at the end of the day, I even feel it. I wasn't excited when the shit went to 127.
Because you wanted higher.
No, I didn't care.
Then why do you care now? What changed?
Because like something changed. I don't know what it. I honestly like. I'm not going to talk out of my ass, but something. There's a feeling that's missing.
Look,
I was excited when it was going up. I was excited when it was going up in 16, whatever. And excited 21. Excited,
you know what that's called?
A year and a half ago. It wasn't
tinted glasses.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it's
it is.
not.
It absolutely is.
The feeling. There's something that's something changed, and I can't fucking pinpoint it. I will. Give me enough time, and I will be able to articulate it correctly. But like I'm telling you, there's something missing. There's something fucking missing. Whether it's the OGs that I'm used to seeing on the timeline, they're no longer here.
Because they did what?
They still have it. I'm talking the ones that still hold.
Great. So they don't talk online.
Okay.
People fall.
The,
Look, it's
the
cycle to cycle. You
passion,
know how
the
many
passion
people have
for it,
fallen off?
the passion for it. I feel like the passion for it. And I don't give me 2 or 3 shows, and I will be really,
Okay,
really be able to break it down for you.
David, I became aware of you because you passionately disagreed with those same people.
I'm not shitting on Bitcoin. I'm telling you, there's
No.
something missing.
So what my point to you is
Like the
that
feeling. I sat back watching Bitcoin go up, and I didn't feel nothing.
because you were expecting something that happened, and then after it happened, now it's here, and we live in this world where institutions are fully getting into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
Maybe
It's
I just
something you
can't
talked
wrap
about
my
for a
head
long time.
around. You know what? I'll say this. Maybe it's just watching people root on institutions being like fucking cheering on the banking system being a part of Bitcoin. All these things. Maybe I was just fucking taught the wrong way. Maybe I was just maybe I learned. Maybe the whole thing doesn't make sense to me because
Point
of
I'm
my
trying to make.
upbringing in Bitcoin. Maybe it just doesn't make sense to me.
The
Like I'm
point
watching
that I'm
motherfuckers
trying to make
celebrate
to
with
you,
Jamie Dimon.
this is why I just asked you what I asked you, because I asked you specifically if someone hits their price target and exits to the institutions, are they still a Bitcoiner? Right? Do they still embody that ethos? My argument would be that if you're fully exiting to an institution via OTC or whatever it might be, because you're OG, you aren't looking at it as you can't look at that and say that they embody the ethos of the cypherpunks anymore,
I mean,
right?
are they selling? Are they
Some,
selling? Are they
you
just selling, or you're talking about they're actually
told me that someone
selling?
just
Are they
backed out.
actually selling to BlackRock?
I mean, OTC depends on what the deal is. You don't necessarily know, but in some cases, there are direct deals that are going to go that way. But most
If people
OTC is just
sell
going to go through.
on Coinbase or wherever else their Bitcoin after 9, 10 years,
If you're an OG selling on Coinbase, you're an idiot.
I'm just saying in
You go
general.
OTC.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I get it. I know what you're saying, but my point is you don't know where it's going if you're just selling on Coinbase. If you're going to do OTC, you do OTC. Fact of the matter is that if you're going to talk about, hey, I feel like the cypherpunk ethos is lost, it's because you're looking at a lot of the people who were OGs that are exiting to the large institutions, and you have to use them as the example. So then you have to look at it and say, okay, do they embody the cypherpunk ethos anymore? No, they don't. Right. And I know many a Bitcoiner or I call them stylized Bitcoiners because they purport to be Bitcoin maximalists when they are in no way a maximalist when it comes to Bitcoin. Right. But that's the way they pitch themselves because it's good marketing and all that kind of stuff. Right. Um, and I just don't view them as actual Bitcoiners in terms of embodying that ethos. I don't care if they buy or sell Bitcoin. Right. Like, but there's a difference when you say
Larry,
that the deal's
you don't
different.
feel like something's lost?
No, because we've
Not even
expected
a
this
little
the
bit.
entire time.
Not even a little bit.
No, only the morons weren't expecting this, David. You and I had conversations before the institutions got involved, talking about the institutions are coming, and it wasn't, and everybody was cheering it on. You were in the same rooms with me. I was on your stage even before a lot of
Did I ever cheer it on?
No, no, I'm not
You
talking
can't
about
find the
you.
tape of me
I'm
cheering on
talking about
institutions.
no. I'm not talking about you, and you know that. You and I had discussions about people that were cheering the institutions coming to buy their bags because they're here to make money. That was your contention to me, and my entire contention to you was like, they're not here for the actual ethos. That was actually one of the basis argument was that you had told me. We were on stage arguing about this. You're like, yeah, but they need to realize gains. And I was like, well, they're cheering on the institutions to offload their bags. So how does this further anything other than a transfer of those coins? Therefore, the entire ethos that you've built your credibility on in this space to the institutions now, right? There's a difference between people who are going to remain here, remain involved, build actual solutions to real problems that crypto and blockchain can solve, right? I would agree that if you're here and you're building, and there's those people, and then there's the entire other set of people that you've called out a lot, and that's people who are just here to make a quick buck on price appreciation. That's your entire ethos, was outrunning Bitcoin to get Bitcoin. That's what meme coins were during the cycle for meme coins, right? Like, what was lost? There's nothing has changed. It's the same shit over and over again
Yeah,
with different
sentiment.
participants.
There's something. I can't put my finger on it. Something, Landy. I'm not saying Bitcoin isn't again. I'm not saying Bitcoin's not going to
I'm not
hit 1
talking about
million
price.
or not going to hit 2 million. I just feel like something's changed. Like
I don't think it's gonna hit 1,000,000 or 2,000,000.
I think it hits 1 million or
I
two
don't think
because
that it should. I think that if it did, we've got way bigger problems. Way
no.
bigger problems.
I,
That's
I
me
again.
personally.
uh, I just like I don't know. You're breaking up. You broke up, so I don't know what you were going to say.
I said that I don't believe Bitcoin will hit 1,000,000 or 2,000,000, because if we see that anytime soon, we've got way bigger problems. And Bitcoin is about sound money, right? Sound money and fungibility and decentralization, and that's on the network side of things. You can hold as much as you want. But the point is that if you believe in the sound money argument, if you believe that that is what Bitcoin is, that it's sound money, it is a store of value, it is a way to be your own bank and to get leverage within a system that is stacked against the little guy, then it doesn't matter if institutions are buying it or retail's buying it. It has not changed. If you're looking at this as price go up, price go down, the apathy is real in the space for sentiment. Bitcoin had a baby bull run, right? It broke $69,000. It went to 128,000. And then, 123 to 125, rather. It's 126 or something it landed on for spot. Some exchanges it went a little bit higher. And then it's now down in a bear market, right? Sentiment didn't actually pick up with any kind of excitement because we didn't see the Bitcoin liquidity rotation to altcoins. We didn't see the same type of fervor with an altcoin season, that mega bull run that makes everybody super excited and then ready
That,
to buy Bitcoin
that
on
we
the
can
low
we can
side.
agree with that. We can agree with that, but I'm telling you, like that's not
But
that's
the
not why I'm
reason
saying
why,
what I'm saying. It's not.
I get it.
I'm not. It's not because of the altcoin season. It's not because altcoin season didn't happen.
No, but the reasons why a lot of these things didn't happen in this way is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies have enjoyed massive appreciation over up until 2021. Massive appreciation against gold, silver, equities, fiat, right? Just, and I bring this up because Bitcoin is up, went up 410 million% versus gold, and a very similar number versus equities. But here's the thing, it failed to actually appreciate bear to bull market, even though it broke new highs and made new highs in fiat versus gold, silver, and equities. Why is that? Because when you go up 410 million% versus something, you're going to see consolidation. You're going to see an accumulation period. And what just so happened to happen to happen around that same time, from one cycle to the next, from bear market to bull market, we saw institutions get heavily involved on the spot side of things for the majors, Bitcoin leading the way. What does that mean? You have all of these long-term holders that are going to have to distribute or going to distribute into this new vector of liquidity out there that's going to offer up the bid. And you're going to get sideways price action for a longer period of time on a higher time frame. So when you see that sideways price action, it's normal. We all knew that this was going to happen for price action, and now you have this cypherpunk ethos running straight into Wall Street, right? At the same time, this collision between one ethos and another, this infiltration of one system. In this case, it is the infiltration of blockchain technologies, Bitcoin, and the majors infiltrating traditional market systems. It takes time and it requires distribution from the longest term, biggest bag holders in the game. I don't begrudge anyone for selling. This is a natural process. This happens whenever you get distribution. Look at your favorite meme coins. What do people look for? Good distribution. You don't want a massive holder holding all of it that can dump on your head. Like, these things happen over time. The thing that changed here is that we're getting the productization. I talked about this with you for a long time, that we're going to see product after product. We're going to see way more products. The productization of cryptocurrencies, them being utilized in the way of being backing assets or underlying assets or volatility vectors. And that's exactly what we're seeing. That's not exciting. That's boring. That's not new. It's not innovative. That's traditional market bullshit that people were trying to get away from by finding opportunity in crypto. So retail's like, whatever, I just want to make more money. Give me the thing that's going to pump, because I want to outperform these markets. I need to pay rent. I need to save up for a car. I've got kids in college I need to pay for, whatever it might be, whatever their reasons are, they want to outperform the markets in general. For a long time, you could easily outperform when there was very few tokens, and you could use Bitcoin and the majors to do it. Now, we didn't see that in this past bull market. You literally could be sitting underwater for the entire time right until the end. And if you didn't nail your trades in and out to realize those profits, you probably got screwed. That's very different from an investor, though, and from an accumulator who's looking at this very long term. This is a good thing that this is happening. If you're an investor, it's, you want to see this happen, and you want to be here for the bear markets and the bear cycles, and you want to accumulate value. If you know in your head that this is going to go
Andy,
up,
all I'm saying is there's something missing. That's it. Like, I love you. No Diddy. I'm just saying, like, there's something missing. I can't put my finger on it.
but that something
I
is
don't want to make it up, like,
cycle.
and say, oh, this is the no.
I
Like,
know,
there's
but it happens
something.
every cycle, and it's a different
No,
thing.
but it has nothing to do with price. Like, I can understand.
I
Like, I
get
can
it.
understand this conversation if we had it like 5 to 8 years ago, and you said the number, I would probably agree with you.
I didn't say a number, though.
No, I'm saying price go up and stuff like that. Sentiment with when markets go up, there's a different sentiment.
But look, my point to you
But
is
when
there's an
Bitcoin was
apathy
going up,
state.
I felt nothing. Like that kind of like
Yeah, it's
that's
apathy.
scary.
It's called apathy.
I don't know.
And the reason that you
I
expect,
don't know.
you didn't hear me get ultra excited about prices going up. I was been very matter of fact.
Yeah,
The whole
but then I look at the entire market, and like usually people do get excited, and they weren't excited. And the only people that were excited were the Tom Lees and whoever of the fucking world. You know, like they were excited.
Of
Like,
course,
I don't know
because
what he has to be excited about right now, but I'm just saying in
well,
general that
I can tell you that apparently their was it their 10Q and 8K. Apparently he's sitting at break even now with all their accumulation, is what I've been reading, and somebody corrected me.
and that's another thing. I've spoke about this.
I don't know. I have to go
I think
look.
Vitalik's done. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I think Ethereum has an absolute. I don't know what the fuck Ethereum's doing. They dropped the fucking ball.
Okay,
That's it. Bottom line.
can I
If they're gonna do commercial business, that's fine. Institutional that's great.
let
But
me
they've dropped the ball completely.
let me ask you some questions then, David. Do you think Ethereum is done for?
You know what? I, I can never count out Vitalik as much as I dislike what he's done with the foundation right now.
No, he
But
doesn't
he's
run the
his
foundation.
own worst enemy because he's not going to let anybody take over Ethereum that can potentially bring back Ethereum to life because of everything that happened previously in Ethereum. That's the fucking problem that you have here. A lot of you guys don't know this. Welcome, you've tuned in to the breakdown. With with the other founders, everything that happened with the other founders, right? When Ethereum was created, all the fucking chaos, he can't let I think he's traumatized and he doesn't want to ever let go of Ethereum, but he needs to let go of it. There needs to be somebody who's brought in, who has some sort of life to them, that can communicate with fucking crypto in general. Here's a big difference. When Vitalik speaks, nobody understands what the fuck he's saying. Let's keep it 100%. You guys are using Grok, okay, to translate what the fuck was said just now.
Okay, I have some
And
more
that's the
questions for you.
truth.
I have some more questions for you though, because I want to make a point here that you look at what's going on, and a lot of apathy is driven by price action. I think you'd agree with that. And a lot of excitement is driven by price action. Hold on
Why is
just a
Ethereum
moment.
going up?
Hold on. When we saw all of these lending companies for Bitcoin, Ethereum, we're talking BlockFi, Celsius, Voyager, when they all started to collapse, and then that eventually led to further collapses of various chains. And then, of course, we saw the collapse of FTX. Do you remember how people were feeling at the time? There was a lot of apathy. There was a lot of we're gonna keep getting distributed on. This is gonna keep going down forever.
Hold on. Are
We've
you
lost our
comparing like?
way. Hold on a
Are you
minute.
comparing like? Hold on. Are you comparing like E to Soul right now?
No, I want you to listen. I'm not
Oh
comparing
my
you to
God.
Soul at
Oh
all.
my God. If this is where you're going with this
No,
shit,
you need to
I'm
listen to
leaving.
what
You
I'm
can have the show
saying.
today.
Let me finish so you can actually understand what I'm trying to paint. The picture here is that there was always a reason why price was going down, and then it was always a reason to be more fearful that price could go down further. The same conversation that we just had, it's about apathy, and that was that, oh, we've lost what we used to have. All these bigger players and these senators and these football players and these basketball players and these people are pumping out all these different exchanges. We've lost our way. We've got all the ways in which they took advantage and took our coins and rehypothecated them and then fell apart and basically stole from us. And then the Sam Bankman-Fried thing happened. It was literally the same stuff, right? You had turnover on a bunch of different chains. They're never going to come back. They're dead. All of the same things, same narratives, just switch out the reasons why those narratives were going. And it was driven by price action first. The market was telling us we were going to go down, and there's always a reason why it continues to go down. There's always a reason why it continues to go up when it starts going up. But the point being is, this is no different cycle to cycle in terms of the feeling. You want to know what you're feeling right now, David? You're feeling that, you know what? I think cycles are dead. That is the feeling, is that people
Oh my
here
God.
were fucking wrong when they said that cycles were dead. And now that we're in a bear market, they're going, it feels different. We've lost our way. Well, the fact of the matter is everybody was like, it's going to go up forever because institutions are here. Cycles are dead because the institutions are going to scoop up all this bullshit. It was bullshit. It was a fairy dream. It was fairy dust. Psst. It was fairy dust. Doesn't, we're in a bear market now, and
You sound like you say that a lot in that kind of voice.
anybody in denial about it is in denial. And if you're in denial, I suggest that you seek some help by going and opening up a chart on your desktop, going out to the weekly time frame, and tell me, is price going up or down over the period of these weeklies? That is what defines a bear market. We've corrected 50% or more from the highs, right? So classic bear market vibes, bro. Literally.
Nah, I disagree, but it is what it is.
You could argue that cypherpunk ethos was dead last cycle. I hear this every cycle. I've been
But
here forever, David. I hear it.
I am talking about something totally different.
Yeah, because the institutions are here. It is different.
Okay.
Do you want the institutions here?
Nope.
Why?
Because
Where are you gonna find the liquidity then? Retail?
Fine. Well, we'll work our way.
Cool. We gonna like have what happened to the dream of all of these places where you could go and spend your cryptocurrencies to get products? Because that didn't materialize. I was the squeaky wheel a long time ago. Said it was
Tell you
never
what
gonna
happened. We did a horrific job creating products within our own space. And
No,
that's why,
we
yeah, we did
created
100%. We didn't. What did we create here?
we created garbage to
I just said that.
steal liquidity from each other.
Hold on. Didn't I just say that?
I guess.
I said we did a horrible job creating products in this ecosystem. Here we were first to market. We did a terrible job creating products.
But how would institutions not get involved in some way? You grow to a certain
I'm not
point where they
saying
do,
that.
right?
I'm not. You can't keep anybody out of a decentralized system. I'm not saying it.
There
Like
you go.
they were going to come regardless.
So
I'm talking about
remove
motherfuckers
them.
embracing them and fucking, doing the Borat dance with them and shit. Like they just landed in Kazakhstan.
Sure, remove them though.
I'm
And
not
what do you
removing
have?
because it's a lot of them.
What do you have left then once you remove them? Well, you got your cypherpunk ethos back.
But what I'm saying is we did this. Like this is more than a 2-hour show. We did this to ourselves.
But it was
I've
all
said
being
it so
built.
long. Our marketing. You keep disagreeing with me. The
Targeting
marketing sucked.
them.
The marketing absolutely sucked. Okay, sucked. Absolutely. There's no way around it.
Let's go back in time just a little bit.
Let's go.
David,
Let's
here.
give it retail marketing, institutional marketing. Ding, 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 ding. They know how to package shit.
So
They know how to present things. They have the ability to present things on a bigger stage.
Have one without the other is my point to you. It's always been that way. What were all of these chains? These when it was the block
They were
wars?
useless. Like I'm not disagreeing with you
But what
with
were
these
they targeting,
useless
David?
fucking ICOs and all this shit that
What were
happened
they
here.
targeting?
They were, of course, targeting retail.
No, they weren't. They were targeting
ICOs?
institutions.
Hold on. Who are we talking about right now?
We're talking about the. All right, you literally. Let's go block wars forward. Who are they targeting? They were
IOTA was
targeting
not
retail.
targeting
They were targeting
fucking
retail.
institutional players. Okay,
They were
Neo was not targeting
they literally built
institutions.
rails and advertised to institutional players. Every time an institutional player got on any kind of
Who?
portion of
Who
the
you
network,
talking
all
about?
of them, whether you're talking about every single
All right,
major,
I didn't see.
everybody
Honestly, I did
celebrated it.
not see IOTA out here. Okay, I'm not bringing things back from the past. They weren't out here advertising to fucking that they're fucking doing business with BlackRock.
They're not. Look, you don't start out with the biggest fish in the pond. You work your way
Yeah,
up. and that's exactly what
I
happened.
didn't hear institution like being talked about. The only one maybe was Ripple.
Brother, they were.
That
all
might be the
built-
only thing that we could talk about and say, okay, yeah, there was a lot of, obviously with the banking system, SBI, all this shit. Okay, fine. I didn't hear that kind of conversation. Maybe I was in the wrong room.
Apparently, you were, bro, because I don't know what the fuck you were listening to.
Cardano was talking about having sex with the institutions, sleeping in the same bed with them.
Every time they had an institutional partnership, what did they do?
Oh my god. We need to.
You
need
brought
to
up IOTA, so I'm
redefine
going
what
to pick on you
institution-
right now.
We need to redefine institution.
No. I'm
And what
going
qualifies
to
as
tear
an
you apart
institution, bro?
because you brought up IOTA. So for those that don't know what IOTA is, IOTA was the Internet of Things. Specifically, who are they targeting? They were targeting enterprises, governments,
Are not
and institutional
institutions.
investors.
You know what?
They were purpose built for.
I can't. No.
Go look it up, David.
You're so fucking wrong. Like
No,
you're
I'm not.
wrong, bro.
Hey,
You're absolutely fucking wrong.
fact
bro.
check the shit out of him because I know what I'm talking about.
You're wrong. Like. Oh, never
Okay,
mind.
how is IOTA targeting?
Your
retail?
definition of institution is wrong. I'm
No.
sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are enterprises, governments, and institutional investors not institutions?
I'm not Fortune 500 companies. I am not putting them in the same bracket as BlackRock. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Are you going to talk about IOTA and
IOTA's
their fake
mission
partner?
statement.
If
I'm
we're going
gonna
to talk
read it
about
to you.
IOTA and their fake partnership with fucking
I'm gonna read.
Microsoft,
No, I'm
Microsoft
gonna.
is not an institution. To
Hold on.
me,
You brought
it's
up
a
IOTA,
corporation.
so I'm gonna kill you on this one because IOTA Foundation was built and purposely prioritized partnerships with government, corporations, and industry players to provide for digital trade, supply chains,
He takes the
digital
one.
identity
He takes the one thing
management.
that I blurted out here.
It's not the one thing, David. It was every single one of them. Ethereum was doing the
Go
same.
tell me. Did Band Protocol also try to get with institutions?
Yes, all of them did. That was literally
All of them
ICO
did.
era. You literally are talking about the targeting of institutional flow.
They were specifically trying to nail partnerships down with Amazon, Microsoft. I remember the names that were
Are those not
discussed.
institutions?
They were trying to bring blockchain to Fortune 500 companies.
That's been the
That's
goal
it.
the entire time. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
Tell me you're wrong. You're wrong.
You go look at it. You literally just said those are institutions, are they not?
Who are institutions?
Amazon's not an institutional investor.
Oh my. Okay. See, now this is what I mean with your semantic play, bro.
No,
Like,
governments aren't institutions.
bro, what government? Which government? How many tell me how many crypto projects the government went into.
It is who they were targeting. You literally just said.
Tell me who are they
retail.
targeting? Out of all the
these
assets that were here, who are they
ICO
targeting?
projects were targeting blockchain for government, corporations, and institutional.
How did that work out?
They fell apart, of
Okay.
course. You know who was the big winner, though? Ethereum.
I said this. Ethereum, to me, in my eyes, it is an institutional blockchain. That's it.
You're literally proving my point over and over and over again.
No, you're not. Yeah, I'm not proving your point. I said something. Ethereum, the price of it will continue to go down because at the end of the day, like, they have pushed away their core audience. And I believe that. Somebody like me, they're pushing away.
They built.
I'm holding my Ethereum, but I'm just saying they're pushing me away.
The goal.
And you're gonna see they're gonna push people into Solana.
Retail was always a stepping stone to institutions, and if you don't recognize,
I get that. I understand that. Like, I don't want to be I personally do not want to hold hands with institutional motherfuckers at all.
Then you hate money, apparently.
No,
because that's exactly what these
what
things
is the
are built
purpose of crypto? Then why are we here? Like, what is the
That
purpose?
was the purpose of the build out.
Purpose was to escape the centralized system. It was not to come back to it.
No, it was to change the systems that we have in place. That's literally their core mission.
Well, all
They
we're
have it
doing is
stated
giving
on
them
their
the
website.
fucking keys back, Landy. Come on, what are we talking about?
I never said Bitcoin.
We are giving them back the keys to this place. We escaped the centralized system only to give them back the keys. We built this fucking place only to give them back the key. They have done nothing here except extract. And you know what? God bless them, because that's their game. I can't even fault them. Their game is to extract. They're not here to be your friend. They're sharks. I get it. And I've always said that. All we did was we built the foundation. Here you go, guys. Can we work for you? And you know what? Besides that, they extracted every talented individual in this industry to work for them. So when it came time, they can go ahead and present this product to all their clients. And that's why I keep saying what we did here was absolute trash. Instead of working on building an ecosystem, a strong one, and building products and not extracting, what do? Extract and build nothing. And with the amount of money people have, the amount of money that these protocols have, we could have built crazy shit.
They are.
We could have built a phenomenal ecosystem.
Want to know what they're building?
To where the institutions had to ask for permission to participate.
They're building TradFi on chain. That was always the goal.
They're building the same motherfuckers that did not allow you to have an opportunity ever. Your parents, your grandparents, they're building off of our backs. I'm not saying I coded a blockchain. That's not what I'm talking about. Every single person here that's been here for 10 plus years has done something to help build this place. But unfortunately, we built nothing. We have built nothing. Just accept the fact we have built absolutely dick here. Maybe 1%. Maybe the 1%. And I'm not just going to say this because they're a sponsor. Cake Wallet built something.
Look.
No. I'm telling you these little things. Cake Wallet built something. Who else built the product? Who else built the Uniswap built the product, right?
There's been continuous building of products on chain that has not stopped.
We have built crappy ass products.
No, we haven't.
That till this very day continue to be hacked.
Okay, well, everything is hackable at a certain point.
I'm just saying they continue to be exploited. Like, we have done a horrific job.
No, we haven't.
I'm going to explain. The way that institutions saw it was, okay, we like this concept. There is interest here. We could take this, we'll bring in the right individuals, and we can build a phenomenal. We can take this and make it 20x what it is. That's what they did. They extracted the innovators here, and they got the keys to the car now. If you didn't front run Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or BNB, whatever you want to fucking talk about right now, then you're fucked.
I just don't agree with you.
You better go ahead and you better build up your resume. You better build up your resume to go work for one of these companies, because you're no longer. You're not. You might have a chance to get life-changing wealth or generational wealth, but you don't have the same opportunity like you did cycles ago. That's done.
No,
throw it to the side.
That's just not true.
It is fucking true.
No, it's not. Not even remotely.
You're talking from a place of privilege. That's
no,
what
I'm
you're
not.
talking from.
No, I'm not.
100%.
No.
You are, Landy. You're talking from a place of privilege. And you know what's the truth? You know why you're happy? And you know why others are happy who have assets that are worth something? Because when institutions put in the liquidity into this bitch, you're good. And you're still good right now, but you're goddamn, your entire family's good for fucking century. Like, it's good. It's absolutely, you're taking care of everybody. They have a seat at that table. Your last name might be on the top of a fucking building.
Might already be.
There you go.
But
so all I'm saying is, at the end of the day,
that does not. You're painting a picture that essentially, in what you just said,
I'm right.
Now,
I'm right. And
no,
I'm right.
You're dead wrong. And I'm going to explain why. If
you have Bitcoin on you right now, you don't have to do anything. Just sit on your ass and just wait for the liquidity to come in. And
there's going to be
$1 million Bitcoin, and you will be absolutely swimming in money like Scrooge McDuck. That's it, Landy.
Okay. So then when the stock market crashes and you buy the low, are you not benefiting from the price rise? Are you not capturing
what are we talking about, Landy? What are we talking? How do we go to the stock market? I'm talking about institutions taking the keys, taking what we've built, participated in.
Build a lot of it. We built Bitcoin, Litecoin, Namecoin, Peercoin, Dogecoin, Dash, Monero, Ethereum, Ripple, XRP, Stellar. You can even go back to IOTA. I love bringing that one up, huh? But the fact of the matter is, I referenced that the everything changed after the block wars because you had the ICO meta, and the entire target of the ICO meta and the block wars, for that matter, were to attract governments, corporations, institutions, and major sovereign investors. That is my point to you, is that in this entire the Bitcoin wasn't designed purely for institutions. Neither was Litecoin. Neither was Ethereum at the very beginning. When Ethereum launched, it wasn't targeted towards, it was a smart contract chain, right? But over time, once we had the block wars, after the block wars, the whole fight of the block wars was, how do we target institutions? That was the whole, and then ICO meta kicked off after the block wars. That was literally all to target institutional flow. And that's the capital from institution. Why? Because retail wasn't the target. Retail was the stepping stone for a lot of these projects that then transitioned to target institutions. And a lot of the founders and a lot of the contributors to Bitcoin, Litecoin, and all the OGs moved on to other things to launch products for institutions. It was literally the goal that we have now seen come to fruition. That's my point, David, is it's now here. That's why you don't feel the same about it anymore. I argued this back in 2015 and 16. You could see it coming from miles away because that's when this conversation started. That's when you had Baldylocks getting involved with what's his name to launch BSV. Right? Like the whole miner situation in China, that whole thing for the fork of the network, right? And then your B caches and you're this and you're that. And it was all about, we need to do this, we need to do that. And the whole end goal was what? To target institutions. You had the same thing begin to happen with Ethereum. Ethereum was a holdout, by the way, for a while. And it was just like, hey, no, we're here to facilitate general purpose smart contracts for DApps, right? But then once DeFi started to really get built out, it was like, well, we need flow. We need flow or we won't survive. We need liquidity or we won't survive. We got to make sure that we're on board with the ICO meta and the narrative that's being pitched out there. And the whole point was to target institutional flows, whether it was governments, corporations, big and small, whether it was institutional banks. It was the gamut was this entire point was to get to the institutional level. And anybody that didn't see it then and is looking at it now going, you missed the boat. You missed the whole point. That's exactly what's happening in the industry. I was screaming about it at the time, but no one cares. And you know what? I'm not going to be a squeaky wheel. I'm just going to let it. I'm going to trade the price action. I'm going to accumulate. Let them go ahead and bring this to brand new all-time highs.
Okay. I just view the space differently. That's it. We can agree to disagree.
Do you think there's no opportunity for retail here?
I told you where the opportunity lies for retail at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, there's going to be so much fast, liquid, on-chain tokens and products that if retail isn't making money, then they didn't do due diligence.
I said that in the beginning of the show.
That's because the opportunities are endless here. This is a burgeoning industry that is barely seen the adoption begin. This is the wider adoption period. It's going to take a while, but the fruits of the labors of the builders in this space will be realized. And guess what? A lot of them are going to join the institutions. A lot of them are going to become institutions in and of themselves.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that. It's the world we live in. I like to hold Bitcoin, though. That's just the way I like to do it. I look at it like, why would I sell it when I can leverage it, when use it at some point, or my family can use it somewhere down the line without ever having to sell it? That's what Bitcoiners are waiting for. I mean, Charles has talked about this. Bitcoiners don't want to move. They not your keys, not your coin. OGs want to stay with holding their Bitcoin. They want to watch it all the way through to the other end to end, right? That's why they don't participate in the big way that we would like to see in any of these other chains. They don't want to bridge. They look at the security side of things. They're concerned about these things. He's right. Charles is right. He's 100% right. But the products will be there that leverage L1 on Bitcoin. You're going to see the products there that are going to leverage L1 on Ethereum. Ethereum's not going anywhere. It might not be the
Again,
same.
I'm just very, very disappointed with it, and I think Solana, and you can even say Ton, and again, I'm not paid by either. I think them two have a chance to really eat away at the mind share that Ethereum holds. I don't know. I just Solana played it right. Out of all of them, Solana really did play it right because it got them in front of institutions as well.
I mean,
Big time.
Hyperliquid played it right. You've got Solana played it right. I think that Ethereum is going through growing pains, and I believe that the mistake was building a layer cake, right? As I like to refer to it.
Besides that, if you don't get a real CEO in like if you don't get a real leader in, they're cooked. Like when you have Bankless selling their Ethereum, like that
Bear market
something
vibes,
has to
baby.
go up.
Bear market vibes.
No, but it's not even that. I mean, they've been through bear markets. Like it's people looking at something and saying, you know what, this shit is going the wrong fucking way. Like they're and nobody's doing anything. Like I'm one of the biggest ETH supporters ever, man. Like there's a roadmap and you got to be patient, and I get that. But I'm looking at this, I'm like, yo, there's nothing happening here. There's nothing.
In the wrong places.
They're too corporate, man. You need to go out. You need somebody with energy to go out here and fucking participate within the community, just like Tolly does with fucking Solana. You gotta have both. You gotta have if you want institutions, you gotta have institutions, and you gotta have retail. And I think Ethereum got way too comfortable being like the dominant one, right?
I don't.
People
No,
who
I
have
think it was
switched
a
over from
miscal- I
Ethereum to
think that it was a
Solana, I'm gonna tell
miscalculation.
you right now, everybody who switched over from Ethereum to Solana, they're not going back to Ethereum. I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of them are going to stay on Solana, and that's because things, no matter how much people want to go ahead and joke on Solana, people are building on there.
Well, yeah, I mean,
telling you.
people are built, but my point to you is people are building really innovative, cool stuff everywhere that is in service of both retail and institutions
But they're
now.
building more towards retail, and like when you look at the products that they're building, you can understand. You can even
Retail
calculate. They're
has
gonna bring on. They're
no
gonna onboard
money.
a ton of retail people onto
But
Solana.
no, I disagree. Solana's
Okay.
literally pivoting towards institutions, David. You
No,
know,
no, I'm not saying that. You're not listening to what I just said. They are building. Forget about just
retail was a stepping
retail
stone to
got retail got
institutions.
them in front of institutions. They're not forgetting about retail though. They are literally building while they're building and working with institutions. They are also making sure that they build out for retail as well and to onboard as much retail as possible because
All of
it
them.
makes sense to bring on as much retail as possible because those are the future clients of institutions. They know.
They're all
I'm
building that
telling
way.
you, they got their heads on their shoulders, and they know what the fuck they're doing here.
The path to get there is might look different, but they're all doing the same thing.
Uh,
One begets the other. You just said it. Institutions, who are their clients? Retail. They used retail as a stepping stone to get to institutions. They proved out their concept. They proved out how they can attract builders, and they did a good job. You have Hyperliquid targeting institutions has automatically brought in retail to Hyperliquid just because of liquidity alone.
We will continue this. I promise you tomorrow. We will continue this. Okay. I just have a show. I have to do a show at 2:00. I don't do spaces. You guys know that. But Mexi invited me onto her podcast.
Cool.
I also want to say, well, tune in tonight, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, tune in at 8 p.m. to Rob Nelson's show. I'll be on there, smacking him around. And then, like, you can tune in after that. You can tune in to Landy market update breaking down the markets, and I'm sure he's gonna paint a pretty picture. Him sleeping with Jamie Dimon and stuff like that. But shout out to Landy. Landy, we shall talk later.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Robinhood. I got the Robinhood card. How nice of them to send it to me. How nice of them. 3% back. Anyway, I don't use credit cards either way, but they come in handy once in a while. Landy, as always, thanks.
Much love, brother.
A thorn in the ass.
Take care, bro.
Bye. That's Landy, everybody. We'll be right back after this commercial break. I wanted to finish on, what's his name? I was going to finish on Mario in the Fall, right? Wasn't I finishing on Mario? I was, until I was rudely put into timeout again on TikTok. That sucks. I had a great dance that I was going to do at the end of the show. I might have taken off my shirt. I was thinking about taking off my shirt on the show. They're missing out. They're missing out.
What first got you excited about blockchains? Think about it. Oh, wait. I bet it wasn't multi-million-dollar hacks, exposed data, or finding somewhere safe to store your seed phrase. Was it? Maybe it was the idea of decentralizing a broken financial system. Maybe it was imagining a world where people own their own data and get to sharing the value it creates. Or maybe it was the promise of a fundamentally better way of connecting, communicating, and transacting. The next phase of the internet that empowers us instead of exploiting us. So why hasn't that happened yet? Why are we still living with the same broken system that blockchains promise to fix? It's because blockchains can't keep a secret. Enabling open, transparent systems was only the first half of the challenge. For blockchains to really change the world, they also have to be able to protect our sensitive data when it matters. And that's why we built Midnight, to bring down the final barrier to mass adoption and unlock the full potential of the decentralized web. Let's build the internet we deserve, together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all know this in crypto. Ownership matters. That's why Cake Wallet. Cake Wallet gives you full control of your digital assets, all in one easy-to-use application. You can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, and many more with just one secure backup. Swap between coins in seconds. No copying addresses, no complicated steps, and even includes Bitcoin Lightning for faster payments. And with Cake Wallet built in, you can use crypto in real life through debit cards or gift cards. Simple, secure, self-custody. Download Cake Wallet and take control of your crypto. Welcome back to the breakdown, episode 716, sponsored by Midnight. Also, Polymarket, Cake Wallet, and Quad Network. Shout out to them. I started off the show, I think I made a lot of valid points about our crypto ecosystem, and if you want to fix it, then it starts with you. It really does. You love this space, then start acting like an adult. Stop acting like a child. You come on here every single day and you bitch and complain about the shit that's happening here. You bitch and complain about your losses and you blame it on everybody else except for yourself. on yourself. You're the fucking problem. Okay? You are the problem. And you continue to just blame others for your losses. Own them. When I lose, I don't go looking for the person that, no, that doesn't happen. I lost because I pressed the buy button and I decided to go in, and I went in with money that I could afford to lose, and I lost it, and okay, on to the next one. That's it. I am participating in the markets. And nothing is guaranteed. Where is this thing? Why is it like, you know what's crazy? It's almost as like y'all don't realize when you go into things that it's not a guarantee that it's going to win. Like nothing here is guaranteed to work out. These teams can put in maximum effort. That doesn't mean that it's going to work out. Maybe it's not their time. Maybe it's just not their time. Maybe that concept is not for this time. But maybe it'll work in 2 to 3 years. Maybe they were too early to the market. But to act like kids here, that's why crypto's broken. And that's why you have a bunch of broccoli head motherfuckers running around owning you. The broccoli head kids are here saying, you know what, I'm just gonna make $30 on this trade. They're not looking for a 500x or a 1000x. No, they're looking for a fucking 1x. Now out. Where we used to like be happy to go and have an entry into a good project at 5 million, 10 million. Now people see 5 to 10 million. They're like, yo, I'm done. No. I'm not going in. Y'all can't even rally behind anything. You guys can't even rally behind anything. If you're not top 50, you got to go and jump into a token that's at 4K. That's the only way that you're going to participate in anything. And a lot of you guys are participating in everything. Like, that's the craziest part. You guys are participating in everything. How are you going to win participating in like 45,000 tokens? Like, you got to pick like 5 to 10 and just focus. Y'all need to go back to bag working. Yo, make bag working great again. Fuck, instead of shaming people for working for their bags, we need to, yeah, let's go, man. Where's that energy, man? That energy is missing. That energy is fucking missing. You go into an Ethereum, you used to go into an Ethereum project, you can go to sleep. You knew, like, I'll wake up the next morning, it's gonna be okay. Solana? You go into a project on Solana, you better motherfuckers take out immediately. They're like, yo, I'm taking out before I go to sleep. That's the vibe. That's stupid. That's crazy. And now people are trying to push NFTs on me. There are a few NFTs that I fuck with, but now it's like, what's happened? If the NFTs are coming out right now, that means that we're absolutely at the end of whatever this is. If NFTs are popping off right now, that it definitely means that it's time to pack up. By the way, I don't know if it's may go away. I really don't know. We shall see at the end. We shall see what happens at the end of this month. We'll see what happens, obviously, in June, in the beginning of June, mid-June. We'll see what happens. I hope that the markets start moving upwards. But also at the same time, I hope that we change this mentality that we have. We need some of the vets to step up. We need some new blood to step up and say, like, this is dog shit. Is this really crypto? We need to have a State of the Union for crypto and explain how things really should work. We got podcasts, again, I'm going to say this. We got podcasts out here talking about, I own no crypto. What are we talking about? This is leadership now? That motherfuckers come on a podcast say, I own no crypto? Then what the fuck are you doing here? What are you, like, that's an honest question. If you own no crypto, why are you here? I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Quote of the day, right? Quote of the day, never forget that. I'm going on right now. In the next 3 minutes, I will be on a space with Mexi. I don't know what kind of questions she's gonna ask me. I might plead the fifth on a lot of the shit. So, but let's give you the quote of the day. Quote of the day is, let's see. The quote of the day. A reminder that every situation in life is temporary. So when life is good, make sure you enjoy and receive it fully. When life is not so good, remember that it will not last forever and better days are on their way. There you go. There you go. That's right. You know what? Let's bring back Diamond Hands. You know what? At this point, let's bring back Diamond Hands. We're all gonna make it. All this stuff, all the shit that was being pushed out in 2021. Let's bring it all back. Fuck it. It was exciting. We know not everybody's gonna make it, but everybody has an opportunity. Let's just bring it all back. Let's bring back the enthusiasm. Right now, everybody's out here looking like the Walking Dead. Literally looking. You're acting and you look like the Walking Dead. 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mondays through Fridays, the breakdown. We'll have Charles on tomorrow. Tomorrow, Charles will be on with us at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We might have somebody from Filecoin on. Actually, no, that's June. We might have somebody on, though, for Friday. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I will see you on here later at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Rob on the Rob Nelson Show. Rob Nelson Show. Oh my God, he's going to kill me. On that note, I'm out.